I'm meeting with Hugh. Today is what, Tuesday, December 29th, 2020. Now, Hugh, you've been with me for a few months now since I have the
August, I think August or September.
yeah, August 18th. So August, September, October, November, 5 months.
Yeah.
5 months have gone by. Do you feel you're making, do you begin to value what's going on with the work we're doing?
Yes, I do. Yeah, very much so. I can see things more clearly now.
What are you beginning to see that's clear to you?
Um, the 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 power of the emotions and how they rule my life, and how I have in the past been stuck with the way these emotions have played out.
Okay, and do you have a specific emotion that you say that you that operate in you?
Well, fear is an emotion in me. Fear, and a fear of confronting people, not wanting to cause trouble.
Yes, very good. And that's a very strong fear. There's several of my other students have the same problem. As I mentioned before, that Gurdjieff talks about there are, say, three centers. I think there's more, but these are the three that I focus on. That we have all three of these centers. One of them is the intellectual, the other is the emotional center, and the physical center. We have all three, but one of them is dominant in some individuals, and my dominant nature was emotional. I was highly emotional, and so was my father, highly emotional. So when things didn't go his way, he would get so upset and so angry, and I do the same thing. An individual who's intellectual, they can see a little bit better than an emotional person. They can follow directions. They might be interested in intellectual um, computer study. You can study computers. You can study science. They love to read. They might be very good in school also, and which I was very poor in school. And so they have, a mental capacity, a power that I never felt I had and or didn't have. However, the problem with intellectuals, though, is that they can be, especially in grade school, they're the ones that are called the nerds. They might be interested in computers or science or mathematics. They're very, that's intellectual. And so, however, they have a problem of being able to associate with others. They have a fear of social confrontation or being in social gatherings. Like engineer types, they hate to have small talk. They love to talk about intellectual studies or complex theories or engineering mathematical conversations. So small talk is uncomfortable. And one thing about intellectuals, they have this imaginary power that they like everything in compartments, organized their life, and everything should be this way or that way. It's kind of a black and white attitude, right and wrong attitude. Where an emotional person, um, they lack the rules, they lack structure, they're very vocal, they're very engaging, they're expressive, gregarious, and laugh a lot, like to touch and hug. That's the emotional person. But they lack intellectual focus. They might be very poor in school, education. And that's the way I was. So you found yourself fear of confrontation. That's a good example. And you're highly intellectual. Would you agree?
Yes, yes. My I like learning and ideas, and but I'm afraid of contact with people, or wary of contact with people.
There's a social interaction is uncomfortable. And so you were expressing an experience you had another day that I'd like to reflect upon for a few moments. Is that okay?
Yes, carry on.
Okay, yeah, you were in this shopping market, and you were standing in line and you were keeping your distance from the person in front of you because of the COVID problem. And then there was a woman with her child in her arms, standing a foot behind you. And you found yourself uncomfortable, afraid of getting contact with her, but you felt she was just practically breathing on you. But you could not say anything because you were afraid of confrontation. Is that about right?
Yes, she was a stranger, and if I did something, I did not know how she would react, and I was fearful of how she would react, I think.
I think what you're bringing out is so important, is that the intellectual is so afraid of causing of being confrontational because of the unknown, how she would react. Because one thing about intellectuals, they like to plan everything and see that their plan is what they want. They have expectations that things should be orderly. So things that are uncomfortable, they don't know. Confrontation, you don't know what's going to happen. You're absolutely right. We don't know what's going to happen. There can be an explosive reaction. And that is what you're afraid of, not knowing how to deal with that reaction. So you want to avoid. So all your life you've avoided that kind of reaction. And in this situation, it could be very detrimental to your health if she was COVID infected. And so you put yourself in danger, but you could not do anything. Okay, and so as you and I are studying this, and we studied it, and you found, and I made suggestions that possibly that would help. But however, to see and to make changes, you're learning to address the issue, to look at it, to factualize, to write down the situation that was disturbing, and to begin to see your stress, your frustration, and even though you couldn't express it, you felt pain, hate, and anger. Is that right?
Yeah, that's about it.
Yeah, but you couldn't express it, but you felt it. And so what we did was write about it. You have a journal. We wrote about it, identified the emotions, and looked up the emotions in Spinoza's ethics, the definitions of anger, hate, and pain. And then you look at your pain, and the pain is such an important reality. Well, pain is a feeling of powerlessness, helplessness, not knowing what to do. And that is the truth. You didn't know what to do at that moment. And the only thing you you did, which is a pattern of behavior, how to respond to a given situation. And this happens doesn't happen. It's not a one-time deal. It's often, this is what you do. You don't say anything. That is your knowledge, and that is your pattern of behavior. Is that true?
Yeah, that's it. Yes.
Yeah. So now you're learning to see this pattern. And as I'm showing you or communicating with you and help you understand to overcome this pattern, you must learn how to see it and to how to identify your feelings of your position, of being powerless and helpless, and not knowing what to do. This acknowledgement awakens the mind. There's another part of the mind that loves to work on problems, that loves to understand. This is the enlightened state of the mind. It's truly a godly state. It sees the truth, it wants to understand. You heard of the word being enlightened? Well, when we understand, it's children. You may experience learning how to read, or you're learning a mathematical problem. Suddenly, you have an aha experience. A light in the mind sees clearly the truth. what is there, what you understand. Understanding is the light of the mind, and that's what we do. We want to increase that light. Okay, I want to end that with this. I mean, so just stop for right now, and we'll continue. It's about a little 10 minutes. And
Yeah.
so, do you have any else you want to add? I just want to add that you shared your appreciation of what you're doing, what we're doing. Could you share that again?
Yeah, and my appreciation, well, was with you helping me to see these things about myself, which I hadn't really in the past, and then with the different sources of books that you use, each of them looking at it from different angles, but each of them very valuable in their own right.
Excellent. And you find that your relationship with your wife Susan is much better.
Yes, yes, I'm paying more attention to her, and she appreciates that.
Yes, where before you were rather distant from her, and you didn't enjoy her watching her movies, her romantic Christmas movies. You love to look at what you do, and I made a suggestion to get back and connect with her, to put in the effort to just watch a movie with her, and you did that, and you found that what kind of result was it?
Well, it pays off because, well, she very much appreciates me paying her attention, and I I can see the value of making the effort in doing that and stepping out of my normal previous way or reaction how I would be.
Excellent. So uh, the changes that you're coming to is not only to help you live in reality and how to face problems that will benefit you, and how to learn how to love yourself, love the self. Spinoza says this, that reason makes no demands contrary to our nature. It demands that everyone should love themselves. Well, what do we love? We love our effort, and we love the desire to understand. You might not feel the love yet, but it will come.
Right.
All right, so I'll see you next week. I'll give you a time because again, next week is a new year,
Yeah.
and so you're preferably after 6 p.m.
Yes.
All right, and so you live in what part of England do you live in?
Cornwall, the
All
far
right.
southwest,
Okay, how far is that from London?
about 250 miles,
All right. Okay, are you near the coast?
and then we're near the coast. Yes.
All right. Uh, the movie called Anne with an E, is that in your area?
No, that's not me. That's not our area. But another one that people might have seen is Doc Martin.
Dr. Martin.
Yeah.
What is that area called?
So, well, Doc Martin is based in a fictitious place called Port Wen, which is an actual place about 10 miles from where I live.
Okay, great. Do you ever go there?
Yes, go there. Yes, it's a tourist place to go.
Oh, yes. Yes. It's a lovely place. Okay, thank you. And hopefully this I'll be able to do something with this recording. And I'll see
Good.
you next week. I'll give you a specific time in the next few days what day we can meet, either Tuesday, Thursday, or Friday. Tuesday, Thursday,
Yeah.
or Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Which days would be better for you?
It doesn't make a great deal of difference. I'm
Okay.
happy with any day. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Anytime after 6. So you're 8 hours away from me, and I'll see you next week.
Okay. Thank you.
Bye bye.
Bye.